Hey y'all, I'm back. It's Ray. And I know it's been a while since I've seen you guys. I haven't filmed a video probably since, um, shoot, I don't know. It's been some time. I think I filmed maybe 4 or 5 videos on my channel. I really anticipated like creating a whole bunch of videos. And then for whatever the reason, I just kind of fell off. And I don't even remember what the reasoning was or if there was any specific incident that made me fall off, but I definitely fell the hell off and I ain't filmed nothing in for forever, okay? But I'm trying to do better. So I actually thought about coming on here and filming a video right before Thanksgiving. And the reason why I wanted to do so is because I have learned that for myself for many years now, and it's definitely getting better. But around the holidays, it's just not the easiest time for me. When I was growing up and I was raised with my grandmother, we were the ones who kind of put on all the big holidays. And so it was all the music and the going to the grocery store and the prepping and making sure everybody was going to come. And then everybody comes over for the holidays and we eat, we laugh, we open gifts, all this other kind of stuff. I remember even having like little rituals and things like that on Christmas Eve, you know what I mean? And things like that. We just don't do that anymore. And I think that what I have learned as I have gotten older and just being a little bit more aware, a little bit more mature, is that the traditional holidays that a lot of us were used to when we were growing up are not as traditional, right? So you do see a lot of Friendsgivings and all this other type of stuff that's different from what you experienced, or at least what I experienced when I was growing up. And I think that that's more the tradition now. Not saying that people don't get together with their family, but I do know that there were times for a long time where I felt like, dang, I feel like everybody's with their family and I'm the only one that doesn't have this big old family celebration where I'm seeing all these cousins who are flying in, et cetera, et cetera. No, a lot of people have that. So what I have done for some years, especially before living in Atlanta, is I would feed the homeless. But since I came to Atlanta, it's a little bit different feeding the homeless here because you have to have like permits and things like that. You can't get in trouble. You can't get fined and ticketed for feeding the homeless just on your own. And so I was trying to find what kind of organizations, get together for the holidays and feed the homeless, but I just wasn't really aware. And then when I would find out, it would be kind of last minute. Nonetheless, I ended up getting together with an opportunity this year that I found out because of my job. Because we happen to volunteer during this month and they try to do it to impact or have like the most number of hours where people volunteer with the company. And so I was able to feed the homeless this year in Atlanta for the first time. And it was a really good experience. What was sad to me was that 95% of the people that, I met with on that day and, helped along the way were Black. And typically when I have fed the homeless in Seattle, it's a little bit more diverse. I definitely see Black men and women for sure. But this time around, I felt like almost everybody was Black. It was like, dang, this is somebody's auntie, their cousin, their uncle, it's the mother and the father. You know what I mean? It just was a lot. And so that was hard for me. And the church that I actually partnered with had a company come out that does like mobile showers for the homeless. And so they actually have mobile showers, not just for this event, but I think that they go around to some of the communities in Atlanta that have a large population for homeless people. And they do the mobile showers on a regular basis. And it's so cool because there's multiple showers in this one unit. Of course, it's hot water. They give them soap, towels, wash rags, and then clean socks and hats and stuff like that. It just is really nice. But the people who were coming to get, to the church to participate like in the feeding and whatever the case may be, some of the homeless people were very familiar with the showers and they could not wait to take a shower. And I remember there being a moment when it got to that part that was a little emotional for me because honestly, I probably take like 2 to 3 showers a day. You know what I mean? And these people just want to take one shower and they probably haven't taken a shower in a month. And it's like, it puts some things in perspective for me, because they're just happy to take a shower. I'll be pissed because I want to take a trip every month and I can't do it. You know what I mean? And it just was like, Ray, get your shit together. But it was really nice. And for me, this Thanksgiving was special because, not only did I cook at home, which I normally do, but I also had the opportunity to do a Friendsgiving and I also had the opportunity to feed the homeless. So I just felt like it was definitely one of my better, not so traditional, but traditional Thanksgiving holidays. And maybe that was the reason why I didn't come on here and film, because I didn't want to feel like I was like gloating and having a good time where I'm trying to talk to people who I know are struggling with some of the same things that I struggle with. Or maybe I just was just in my own thoughts, or time just got away from me. I don't know. But during that time, I ended up taking some time off of work, because the company, of course, gives you the holiday off. At least most of us get the holiday off. And so when I have some time off from work, I usually like to try to pair some additional PTO time with that so that I can have more time off, but I've used less of my PTO to do so. And so that's what I did for Thanksgiving. I ended up having 10 days off. And I was really excited to come back to work. And when I came back to work on Monday, it was kind of slow. But I figured it's probably just slow because people are still taking a little bit of extra time off before they come back into the office. But as soon as Tuesday hit, and probably a little bit of Monday too, and Wednesday for sure, and then today's Thursday for sure, I kept just getting hit with negativity, negative energy, attitudes, and these things have nothing to do with me. It's just the way that people are presenting themselves or projecting themselves, and this is just kind of what I have to deal with, right? And I have been working in the industry that I worked in for over 12 years. I can do what I do with my eyes closed, and I very much enjoy what I do, so it's effortless to me. But there are times, and there's definitely been times where I am stressed out, and I can tell that I need a break from work, because some of the same shit that has happened for months now is happening, and I'm getting bothered. And when I'm starting to get bothered, that's when I know I'm like, okay, I need a break. But this time I have like this long break, and so I come back and I'm excited to talk to my team. I want to hear about their holiday. How did their Thanksgiving go? Did they enjoy their time away? All this other type of stuff. And I just kept getting hit with negativity from every angle. And another thing that's unique about the role that I have right now is that I literally support over 1,000 people every day. And this is not including like vendors or, external, guests or things like that. This is just the people in my office. And so it can be rough because you're dealing with a lot of different people, personalities, cultures, attitudes, good or bad days. Like, you just deal with a lot. And this is different from the environment that I worked in, where I may have only worked with like 12 people. I work with over 1,000. And so it's a lot more that you get. It's a lot more energy that you come into contact with. And when I worked at smaller firms, or at least my office setting was smaller, my office environment was smaller, I knew everybody. We had good relationships. I can tell when somebody is not having a good day. I kind of know what might piss them off. If we need to have a tough conversation, I know how to engage with them and how to approach the situation, because they probably are going to be irritated, etc. But here, because there's so many people coming at you all the time, it can be a lot and it can be overwhelming. And I think that I learned today, because I was really stressed to where I can feel it in my body. What I learned today is that it's definitely not the workload. It can be the environment or just the people that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And so I wanted to come on here to hope to spread some type of positivity, because towards the end of my day, I did have a meeting that did not go as well. And it wasn't that it didn't go well because the results weren't there or whatever the case may be. It was more so the energy was just not the most positive. And there was one person in particular that just kept going on and on and on and on and on. It didn't matter what the topic would be. You could talk about the sky being blue, and they were going to have something to say with the wrong tone and with the wrong approach. And it started to get to people. It had to, because somebody spoke on it and said something in the meeting. But it was just like, dang, like, I don't understand. We just got back from the holiday. Like, we should be in a good space. And it's just been bad, and it's been bad all week, you know what I mean? And it was just starting to frustrate me. And I think that the other thing that was bothering me is that I felt like I couldn't really speak to it the way that I would like to speak to it and talk to the situation. And as you guys can see, I'm a Black woman. And so sometimes, a lot of the times, I will say, for a lot of us, historically, we just feel like we don't really have the voice, or we can't use our voices the way that we would like to in a corporate or professional environment. A lot of the times we feel like it's not going to be taken away. A lot of us women do not want to be labeled as the angry Black woman, right? And so we have to be very mindful about what we say, how we speak, not to get the emotions in, and not to say too much, do too much, whatever the case may be. And it can just be a lot sometimes when you have to suppress those feelings. And so, needless to say, I ended up getting out of the meeting. And during the meeting, I was definitely felt some type of way. But after the meeting, my mind just kept replaying everything that was going on. And I was just so frustrated. So frustrated to the point to where I literally spent the last, what time is it? The last like maybe 5 hours frustrated, in a rut, couldn't shake it. I went and got something to eat. I watched TV. I was trying to watch some things that was going to be funny, turning a couple of YouTubes that I knew were going to be entertaining, and I couldn't even get into it because my mind was just constantly stuck in the negativity. And I finally had to snap out of it, and that's what made me make this video. And I was just like, Ray, no, you cannot. You cannot do this. You cannot allow yourself to be consumed by the negativity that has nothing to do with you. You cannot allow yourself to feel like you can't speak up in a way that's going to be protective for you, your environment, your energy, your sanity, your mental health. And you just can't continue to give excuses for people if they have poor behavior. Like, it's just a no, you know? I do know that, you know, we're in a time frame where it's the end of the year. A lot of people like to recap on their year, to go over their successes or the areas where they might not have been as successful. You know, people lose loved ones. I feel like every time I turn on the freaking news, someone has passed away in whatever capacity, at whatever age, and every time, to me, it's sad. That's a lot. People are dealing with a lot of shit that's going on in their personal lives, in their work lives, which, you know, you're at work with people more than you are with your family, your friends, your loved ones, your significant others. Like, you're there, and that could be a lot. Financial issues can be a lot. Seasonal depression could be a lot. People can have health issues, and it's just a lot. And there's just no excuse right now to be unkind to people. If you have to step away and set aside some time to be by yourself, to refocus and realign your energy, do that, because it's just not fair. And at the end of the day, even if we all were walking around happy in our happiest state, or 80% of us was walking around in our happiest state, it still doesn't make it right for somebody to come put their shit on us. And it turns out that I'm sitting here absorbing somebody else's shit, and I don't even know what was wrong with the person. Okay, I have no clue. Like I said, it was just a very uneasy meeting, and the things that were the topics of discussion where it didn't go the best were about things that were pretty trivial. Like, at the end of the day, it was not going to do nothing one way or the other. But it was made to be a lot bigger deal than it needed to be. A lot of time was spent talking about the same things, going in circles, complaining about the same. And it was just like, Lord, today, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to be the good employee, and I'm trying to be professional. And so I didn't say anything, but in my mind, in my spirit, I was messed up. And then I clearly felt some type of way, because hours later, I am bothered. But I don't want you to be like that. You know, I don't. And I also don't want you to be someone that feels like you need to project your energy on people. So, you know, my thoughts for you, especially around this holiday season, are just some of the same things that I've been able to do myself that has helped me clear my head and be in a better space, especially during these times where I feel like something may be lacking that I wish that were there that is not. So the first would be, you know, take some time to give back in a way. I don't care if it's lending an ear, giving some time, volunteering for some projects, you know, in the community, or volunteering to feed the homeless, whatever it may be. Give some time to give back. And this is not one of those things where we're trying to compare how bad your life is in comparison to the next person's. This is just an opportunity to be able to put a smile on someone's face that might not be having a good time. All in all, regardless of where we are and who we are, everything that we are going through doesn't always last. Every good moment doesn't last, and every bad moment doesn't last, right? And so it's going to turn, and it's going to get better at some point. But in the moments where people are feeling especially low, especially around the holidays, maybe take some time to give back. The next thing I would suggest maybe is just finding some time to, you know, do something to de-stress for your own mental health. One of the things that I do every single day, or almost every day, is I work out, and I usually work out before work. And I had thought about going to the gym tonight because that's how frustrated I was. I thought about taking a walk, but y'all know it gets dark at 3:30 because of daylight savings time. So I was like, no, I don't want to play around and do that. But I thought about going to the gym, because I was like, girl, you about to go to the gym in the morning, and you already went and worked out for 2 hours this morning. Sit your ass down. It's just no, right? So I didn't do that. But if, you know, working out is not something that you do, you don't have to go into the gym and kill yourself, but just get into some type of routine. Releasing some of the stress, building up some of them endorphins will definitely help you feel better. And the plus side to that is that you'll look better too. And so you always, you know, feel good when you look good. The next thing that I would like to suggest is that if you're not in a good space, you know, take some time to step away before you respond or interact with others. What I personally do when I'm in spaces where I cannot shake the funk is I literally stay to myself, because I can go to a grocery store. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I can go to a grocery store and I can, you know, want paper and they only have plastic, and they could have said plastic the wrong way, a way that I didn't like it. Paper must be a problem today. And are they, you know what I mean? And girl, it ain't got shit to do with them. It has everything to do with me. But the way that I'm feeling, I'm taking on everything offensively because I'm not in a good space. And sometimes I've done that to my friends too, where my responses just are kind of quick and rude when that's not normally how I communicate. So I definitely think it's time to take a step back, and I start to do that. And sometimes it's just nice to step back, you know, regroup, take some time to yourself, get your thoughts cleared, and then come back into the community, or come back into your community. And in the work environment, when of course you can't just completely disconnect, take a walk. Take a walk, go grab some coffee, go sit downstairs or away from everybody else and take a personal phone call. Take breaks for sure. You know, if you think that you're receiving some type of rude communication via email or some type of instant message, don't be afraid to wait to respond. Everything doesn't need an instant response, especially if you feel like your response is going to match their energy. No. Or if you notice that somebody is talking to you inappropriately in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable and that is impacting you negatively for your mental health and everything else, let them know that, you know, you think that we should have this conversation once we can come back and be a little bit more professional, because right now I just don't feel comfortable. But ultimately, do what you can do in the right way to get yourself into a better space. And what I'm hoping is that that time that you do that will allow the other people to turn around, look at themselves, and maybe approach situations differently. It will at least diffuse the situation right away, which is always going to be beneficial, because then it won't be able to escalate to the next situation. Less apologies, less explanations have to come in play. But overall, it's just projecting more positivity out there, which is what is needed right now. Not just because of the holidays, because I feel like we're definitely living in some crazy times, but I think that the holidays compiled upon inflation, you know, piled upon, you know, well, I already said inflation, but the prices is raising everywhere across the damn board. On top of the holidays, on top of the fun times that people feel like they're missing out on top of them missing their loved ones, no one needs any extra confusion, dysfunction, attitude, negativity. It's just not needed. So hopefully, you know, this was helpful to someone. I don't know what made me pick up this video again and put it out, but I really do hope that it was impactful. It's hard being, you know, in the workplace around people that you're around more than you're around your family, especially when the environment is not always conducive to the way that you would like to work in a peaceful and positive, productive environment. And it could just be difficult because we all have our own bullshit that we're going through, and we just don't have time to put on the other shit. And like one of the memes said that I had watched, I don't know, sometime this week, the guy was walking down the street and he was like, it's already bad enough that we have to go to work because work is ghetto, but then I'm gonna go to work and then you gonna mistreat me too? Like, I can't do that. Like, that shit was so funny to me. He was telling the whole story, but that little part I resonated with, because you're right. Like, God damn it, I don't know any of us right now that wouldn't want to have, you know, endless amount of funds to be able to be on the beach somewhere, living life, the soft life, or whatever the case may be, doing what we would want to do with our time without the stress and the hassles of life. So do what you can do to put it back into the world, and maybe we can make some positive changes in our work environments and every other environment, because truth be told, when people have tough days at work, they come home and then their families are impacted, their loved ones are impacted, their significant others are impacted because you've had such a rough day. I don't want to talk. I don't want to interact. It's hard for me to be nice. I'm trying to shake my attitude or whatever the case may be. It's like a real thing So let's try not to make it trickle down, and whatever we trickle down, whatever energy we add to the room, it's just good energy, good positivity, love and light, genuine love and light. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I have some more topics to come back with. If nothing else, hopefully I have a positive word or a funny story to tell pretty soon. I can come back and grace my platform, my growing platform. Anyway, have a good night, you guys. It's late, and I will see y'all soon.